and welcome to the JDC West 2023 Entrepreneurship Case Competition. Before starting today, the JDC West Organizing Committee would like to make a land acknowledgement. The University of Saskatchewan campus is located on Treaty 6 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis. We pay our respect to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this land and reaffirm our relationship with one another. We pledge ourselves to create a competition that celebrates the diverse cultures and history of this land. Thank you to our judges, Rory Wheat, Cole Thorpe, Maeve Kelleher, Mahandre Bunsey, and Jana Dutton. My name is Emily, and I will be the academic moderator for this presentation. Competitors will have a maximum of 23 minutes to present. Our academic timekeeper, Sophie, will hold up timing cues throughout the presentation to indicate the beginning and ending of protected time. During the unprotected time, judges may ask questions. Once the presentation has concluded, the delegates will be escorted to leave the room. No questions or comments will be permitted from the audience at any time. Please ensure that your cell phones are turned to silent and that there is no talking amongst yourself or signaling to their competitors throughout the presentation. Competitors, you are begin.
Looking through a camera lens is quite an interesting experience. You get to capture a moment in time, a story in time. Today we're going to be talking about how we're going to capture those stories and tell those stories at a much broader scale. We're going to be looking through the lens. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are presenting today on Treaty 6 territory. My name is Noah, and I'm here with my colleagues Nazar and Steven, and we are going to be presenting to you Lens. So, I'd like to present to you our ask. So we're asking for $400,000 for a return of $1.3 million reinvested to the local film industry.
Taking a quick look at the market, as you can see, between 1998 and 2012, the film industry generated roughly $514 million in profit. This past year, the Premier of Saskatchewan, Scott Moe, announced an additional $8 million in funding to the film industry. With that increase in funding, we can expect an increase in growth within this industry. One industry risk that we are currently observing is that the established market share of online content creators, such as large streaming giants. However, this product, as Noah will go more into, is more for our local film industry than massive blockbuster movies.
So to talk a little bit more about our business model right before Noah gets into the product itself. So within our product, we're actually going to be doing two things. We're going to be making the streaming platform free for all users. This is to mitigate any barriers that users or content creators may face. So instead of people paying to use the app at the start, we're going to make it free so we can get as many users and acquire as big portion of the market share as possible. And then we will focus on advertisement revenue, specifically local businesses within Saskatchewan, within the economy, so we can benefit both the local startups, and then we can focus on kind of the local field. And then as well, we're going to offer a premium version for $9.99, and that is just to get rid of, to access more things, and it'll be to get rid of on the advertisements that I talked about, and to be able to download the streaming platforms onto your device when you're not using internet.
So what do we do at Lens? What exactly is Lens? Well, Lens is a mobile app and web app integration where we partner with local filmmakers from Saskatchewan for them to be able to upload their films to Lens for everyone to be able to see. So as Nazar mentioned, the platform is actually free for users and for filmmakers. So if you want to watch a film made in Saskatchewan, you are able to do that for free by downloading the app. If you want to upload a film and you are a Saskatchewan creator, you are able to upload that film for free as well. So all of this is free. So how does it work? So from the content creator point of view and the filmmaker point of view, you will create a profile on the app or the website outlining who you are as a filmmaker and giving people background as to who you are when they watch the film and they want to learn more about who created the film and what is the story behind the film and the person who created it. The filmmakers will upload their content and the stories that they want to tell and those films that they worked so hard to produce. They will generate returns from the ad revenue. As we are a not-for-profit organization and a not-for-profit business model, we want to ensure that all of the benefits are going back into the filmmaking industry in Saskatchewan. This is going to, and then we're going to establish the follower base as more and more people get onto the app and get onto the web service, being able to look at the content and having more eyes on that content. We think that the access to viewing the content is one of the biggest barriers for Saskatchewan's film industry really truly being able to grow. From the user perspective, users will download the mobile app most likely or watch on a laptop through the website as well. They will create an account, set preferences, and be able to look through different filters and different categories, whether that be Indigenous films, whether that be action films, or whether that be comedy films, or any of the different topics that we would like to add onto the website, or onto the app. So our strategic vision for Lens, as we look through the lens, is to enhance and grow the discoverability of the local film industry beginning in Saskatchewan, and then having the opportunity to grow beyond Saskatchewan into other parts of Canada as well. We don't want to just hold this organization to Saskatchewan, as we think that there is an opportunity to grow the organization and continue to grow the film industry in not only Saskatchewan, but in other provinces as well. So our value proposition for Lens is we provide a platform to enhance the discoverability of media created by local filmmakers. We do that by focusing on the artist first. There really isn't anywhere else that is focusing on the artist before the content itself. We want to benefit the artists so that they can ensure that they are continuing to make more and more films, providing more excitement and more impact to the industry and the film industry. The industry reinvestment is one of the big ways that we are going to be able to really focus on the community and benefit the community by going back and reinvesting the profits of the organization into different organizations in the community. We also will have an open data sharing policy where we'll be able to share analytics back with the filmmakers so that they have more of an understanding of who's watching their films, providing them with insights to better their own personal branding and continue to improve.
I have a question. How are you expecting to redistribute that 1.3 million to the local community?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that through several different organizations. And Nazar, you'd like to elaborate?
So we actually, if we go through the startup costs here and kind of explain the financials behind it right before we get into it. So through our startup costs, we're looking at an app and website development around $100,000, and then we're actually each going to put in $10,000. So our total startup costs are only going to be a total of $85,000. And I do want to bring up the point of at-risk capital. So we will be asking for a total of $400,000, and that is just to cover the expenses the first 2 years. But however, Saskatchewan does have the STSI tax credit up to $225,000. So the $225,000 that you invest into tech startups in Saskatchewan can actually be fully deductible and as a tax credit. So really, you are only investing $175,000, but you are giving us the $400,000. Now, to answer your questions, we're going to be partnering with local partnerships such as the Indigenous national film producing company, and essentially what they do is they focus on indigenous films and indigenous creators, and we'll be looking to partner with them and actually give 10% equity of our company with them in order to establish that relationship, establish that trust, and have that connection with them, and to ensure that we really focus on getting their films and their community and their values onto our platform. Now, to talk a little bit about the income statement and our projected 5 years of revenue expenses. So as you see, our main source of revenue will be advertisement for the first couple of years. So the first year, we expect around 10,000 users on our platform, and we have estimated a budget of around $7.50 per user, which we think is a little bit conservative, but we do think it's an attainable goal to have. And then as you see, we also have a breakdown of the number of premium users and our users' revenue, and that steadily grows as we continue to increase, get more content onto the app and get more users onto the app as well. And then I also want to highlight the big marketing budget as well. That is a big barrier that we think that will be is market penetration. So we want to allocate a huge chunk of our expenses towards that in order to be able to penetrate that market and to get users on board. And then as well as for research and development, around 10% of our yearly revenue, or sorry, 5% of our yearly revenue will be going to research and development, and that will be focusing more on the data analytics and looking at where users, what kind of films are they looking to watch, what kind of content are they enjoying, and we're going to be sharing that again with the film content and creators in order to give them that feedback so they can better curate and so they can better kind of give a better experience towards their audience as well. And then lastly, I want to talk about the founder salaries and the employee salaries. So for the employee salaries, as you see, we do have a co-op student grant. So the first couple of 3 years, we're going to be focusing on getting co-op students on board, and that is to facilitate them, train them within our company. And then as you see, we do plan to hire them in years 4 and 5. And then we are planning on not taking any salary on the first year, and that is just to invest more of the money toward the product and to the market penetration. And then lastly, a little bit about our net income. As you see with our gross profit, we are expected to have a negative downturn in the first couple of years, as you expect with tech startups. We don't expect to be making money right away, but we do expect that when we get into the market and when we establish our market share, we do see a steady increase in towards our revenue. And to talk a little bit about our valuation as well, so we did a discounted cash flow with a long-term growth rate of 15% and a discount rate of around 30%. And so that's how we got our company valuation of around $1 million. And then also I just want to take you one step back towards our financials in our 5-year income statement. As you see over the next years, as you see the $37,000, $217,000, the $514,000, that comes to that $1.3 million that we were talking about to reinvest into that local community, and that will be done through the partnerships. We want to establish partnerships within the film industry with that Stan will be talking about, and through those partnerships we're going to be talking with them and seeing how they best can use the money and our resources and how we can leverage our strategic partnerships to get the best for the Saskatchewan film industry.
To clarify, the founder salaries are all 3 of you guys considered founders? So that's the salaries are for 3 of you guys?
That would be correct, yes.
Okay.
So in the first couple of years, we're just taking $50,000 for it, as we want to kind of focus on the industry itself and not take any money away potentially from the filmmakers, and we want to reinvest that back into the community.
Okay.
So are you going to reinvest that money back into the community long-term, beyond this 5-year?
That is correct. So we just did a 5-year projected income statement, but as we continue to grow with the company, as we continue to generate more revenue, get more users, and as we continue to expand nationally, we'll be taking all of the revenue that we earn and we will be reinvesting it back with our partnerships or with local film industries and actually sponsoring films, which we'll talk about in our future considerations in a moment.
Right, so my question, I guess, goes a bit further to say, so if you're only taking $50,000 a year and you're reinvesting all of your profit back in, what's in it for you guys beyond that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So within actually years 6 and 7, we will be taking on more of that. It's just kind of mostly what's in it for us is we want to see the film industry grow. We want to see Saskatchewan go back to where it was in 1992 with the film industry in 2007, and we want to see Saskatchewan grow and flourish again within the film industry and take that market share away from Manitoba and away from Alberta. And we want to make sure that Saskatchewan is able to have a flourishing economy, especially within the film economy, for many years to come.
I just have one more. So,
Yeah.
So then when you mentioned about the reinvesting, you also mentioned the 10% equity that you will give so on. So this model, like you are asking the filmmakers to upload their movie for free, and then users can view it for free, right?
That is correct.
Do you consider any kind of profit sharing model with the filmmakers so that they can keep on producing films and then upload for free?
Yes, that is a great question. So within advertisements, so we're going to be giving the people that upload the platform, they're going to be getting 20 cents per user that views an ad, which is actually more than the average of other platforms such as YouTube and other streaming platforms. So YouTube averages around 12 to 15 cents per user that views an ad, and we're going to be giving them 20 cents. So yes, they will be getting that money reinvested as well within the content that they upload.
So just basing off that question, talking about YouTube and talking about some of the other options out there for media sharing online. So what makes us at Lens competitive with the other competitors in the market? So we're a not-for-profit, which is our main competitive advantage. This is what's going to make us better in Saskatchewan and for Saskatchewan than an organization like Netflix or YouTube will. So all that money will come back into Saskatchewan. It will support the local niche, which is something that Saskatchewan is very proud of. Being able to support local and being able to take care of the people within the community and support the people within the community is something that is a value of, is one of the main values of Saskatchewan. So the Indigenous Screen Office Partnership is one of the ways that is going to help us create another competitive advantage. As my colleague Nazar mentioned, through that partnership, we're going to be returning that 10% equity, but we are also going to be able to learn from them and provide more access to the platform for Indigenous communities and Indigenous creators to be able to upload their content and continue to develop the Indigenous film community as well through our platform. It's also free for all users, which is a completely alternative to a platform like Netflix, where you pay a pretty hefty subscription per month. Obviously, we do have that option for a subscription, but you don't have to pay that subscription to be able to access and support the Saskatchewan content. So some key performance indicators that we want to look over and are really going to outline how we move forward as an organization are going to be that $100,000 reinvested. This is going to be very soon on the timeline. We want to make sure that we get that $100,000 reinvested into the community very quickly, being able to support the community through the organizations, through Creative Saskatchewan, and through the other partnerships that we want to be able to form. We also want to be able to host 25 films on the platform in the first year. We know that this is going to be a challenge, being able to penetrate the market not only for users but also for the creators. But we think that 25 is a really good indicator of first-year success. That's 25 potentially film producers, 25 videos and films that people are going to be able to watch and consume on the platform, creating an opportunity for them to want to access that platform. And as it continues to grow and we get more films on the platform, they will stay and they will bring in more people to the platform as well. And then in the first year, we want to have 10,000 users, which we think is very, very possible, which Steven will get into in our marketing.
So take a look at our distribution channels. Two main ways for users to access our app is through the App Store, such as Google Play or our Apple App Store, as well as through our web app, which can be accessed through any online browser. So taking a look at our target market, within Canada, there's roughly 37 million people. Narrowing it down to Western Canada, we have 11.7, and Saskatchewan has grown to a whopping 1.2 million people over this past year. And as most of us know, Saskatchewan's #1 resource is its people. So providing a service that benefits our industry within Saskatchewan will create us and help us be stronger.
So talking about the market, maybe just go back one more slide from this. There's a lot of online browsing, streaming services right now. Amazon Prime, Crave, those companies, and they're very interested in buying up a lot of the market share. If they were to approach you for acquisition or something like that, would you guys be prepared for that, and what would your response be?
Yeah, so that's something we considered, and it's actually in our future considerations to look at a strategic buyout as an option for moving forward with the organization. It's not something that we really want to sell to a giant like Amazon Prime. What we would be more so looking at is an organization potentially like CBC, keeping it in Canada and keeping the opportunity there to continue to enhance Canadian media and Canadian film. We want to make sure that that is at the foundation of the organization. We don't want to compromise that for a check, and we want to make sure that that is at the foundation of the organization, especially because the filmmakers and the community is at the foundation of the company.
So the consumers that we would target would be someone like local Larry, who's roughly between 25 to 40 years old. He supports local. He loves going to local businesses, local restaurants. The next step is enjoying local films. He watches movies regularly, so it only makes sense for him to enjoy local films as well. And he is a creative person, so being able to go and observe a variety of different films is in his best nature. To target our market, we wanted to do partnership with post-secondary institutions, targeting film students to kind of allow them to go and submit their film to upload to our site, to go and make a name for themselves, and to get more awareness of who they are to the film industry. We also want to utilize pre-existing industry support outlets such as Creative Saskatchewan and kind of use their networks to go network within more of the broader Saskatchewan film industry. As well as Google currently offers up to $10,000 a month in ads for non-profits. We want to go and utilize that grant to go and allow us to have a further outreach, which provides us with more opportunities to reach more people, as well as social media. Currently, people watch lots of local films on platforms such as YouTube. Having ads in there will be able to go and take away some of your market share and bring it onto our platform. So our marketing allocation, 60% of our market budget is going to be going towards film industry partnerships. We want to be on the ground. We want to be talking to students, kind of explaining why we are the best platform for them to get involved with. They could go to YouTube, they could go to TikTok, all that stuff, but we provide kind of a more professional base, and they were able to go and kind of create a better name for themselves and better recognition within the industry.
Quick question, would you allow your users to upload content on, say, both YouTube and your platform?
Yes, that's correct. So we do not own the right or the intellectual rights to any of their media or anything that they create.
So then are you concerned that because of, say, YouTube's recognition within the market, that might take some of your users who would watch it on YouTube and not on your platform?
That's a great question. So our platform is free as well, such as YouTube. Both of them are free platforms. However, ours is kind of more of a streaming site, whereas YouTube, you don't know the quality of videos that you will get. Whereas on our platform, we do have a submission process where they submit it, and we go and allow it to be posted. So I think it's kind of more of a professional atmosphere compared to YouTube.
Yeah, just to oh, sorry.
You mentioned students a couple minutes ago. Any strategies around engaging with secondary schools or film courses?
Yeah, so take a look back here. Oh, that's one of our strategic partnerships, is to kind of be on the ground at the U of S, U of R, as well as some polytechnic schools to kind of go and enhance our name and our vision and our outreach and to get more students involved.
Yeah, and just to add on to the point about being concerned about YouTube versus our platform, we think that our platform is going to be able to provide something that YouTube can't provide, and that's the compilation of all of this content in one place. So you're going to have all this Saskatchewan content in one place. If you went to YouTube and searched up Saskatchewan film, you're going to get a hodgepodge of different content that might not be what you're looking for if you want to consume Saskatchewan-made content. So we're going to be able to provide that on the platform and really be able to provide that to the consumers as well. If you directly want to look at the Saskatchewan content, going on YouTube, going on Netflix, it's really hard to do, especially with Netflix or another big streaming platform. The barriers to entry for a local filmmaker are extremely, extremely high. So we want to be able to take down some of those barriers of entry for them. And so going into some of our risks and mitigations, as we kind of outlined earlier, the adoption of users is a really important aspect for this. So as Steven just previously mentioned, going into those universities and getting those content creators and those filmmakers is going to be a really important opportunity for us. The intellectual rights, as we also previously discussed a little bit, we don't want to own those rights. We want to be able to benefit the consumer, and we benefit the consumer by not owning that content. And then the last is content monitoring, ensuring that there's content on the platform that is good for the platform to be able to represent. So these are our future considerations, looking at potentially having a film sponsorship fund in the future where we can sponsor films to get onto the platform. So our timeline here, we want to look at a 1 to 5 year timeline as we looked at in the financials. In years 4 and 5, we want to look at the opportunity to expand into provinces like Manitoba and the rest of Western Canada, in Alberta and BC as well. So I'd like to remind you of our ask, which is for $400,000 and $1.3 million reinvested into the local community. So now, why us? Why are we the right organization? Why is Lens the right option? So we, as the three founders, have tech startup experience working with startup companies. We also are going to create access for consumers, and this is the #1 way to look through the lens and support Saskatchewan.